Welcome back. Today with us, we have Steve Johnson and Catherine Bell with the Duplicate Bridge Club, and they're going to tell us a little bit about some of the exciting educational things that are coming up. Welcome, both of you.
Thank you.
Okay, so you're the newbie, but you've been here about a year and a half, and then you are kind of like our guru, if you will, with 11 years with the Duplicate Bridge Club. So I know we've had the Bridge Club on a couple different times, but tell me a little bit about some of the things that are coming up for education purposes, because everybody seems to have a lot of questions.
Well, good. Well, you know, I think what happens is that people move in, and some people have played lots of cards, but they've never played bridge. And then you have people like I had played a little bit in college. And so you have this situation where there are people that want to start from scratch. So we have like the bridge in a day, and we just did that in January. And so somebody that's never had any bridge at all can play. Okay. And then there are people like me that came in and hadn't played in 40 years, and I took some classes, and you get excited, and you say, okay, what can I learn? And part of the fun is learning. And then as you move up, you say, there people are beating me, or you're competitive and you want to get better.
Or as my dad says, I'm getting crummy cards.
Getting crummy cards.
Doesn't matter in duplicate.
That's the
okay,
that is the difference
that
between duplicate and what is called rubber bridge, is that everybody plays the same cards. You can't say, oh, I got crummy cards, because everybody else playing your same direction got the same cards. So it's how do you do with those cards that they did. Yes. So it's that. There's nothing wrong with rubber bridge. I play on Thursday with a group of friends. It's fun. But the difference is it takes away from that excuse. And so you decide hey, I'd like to get better at this. And I had no intention of getting involved in tournaments and things like that. And then it just kind of happened over time. So what we want to do is make a chance for people that have never played, people that are returning to bridge, people that are newbies that want to get better, and then
Sorry, keep breaking you with that.
there are people that have played for 60 years, and there's always something to learn. And so it's fun learning.
Do you think people choose? Okay, so the one bridge versus the duplicate bridge. Do you think people choose well, I call it regular bridge, but what did you call it? Rubber bridge. So do you think people choose that because it's a little easier? Because you don't have to learn something new?
Yeah, the problem with that is it's the same game. It just scored differently.
I see.
And you win most of the time because you have better cards. Where in duplicate, I find that there's a lot of former athletes that like to go to duplicate bridge because it's competitive. But there's people that were in businesses that were competitive, and so they like the competitive act, but it's still social.
Right. But there's a skill set involved too, right?
Yes, and that's where our classes come in.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the classes.
So right now we have a week twos class. That's a convention that many people use, but there's more to it than just the initial bids. And so she's teaching a 4-series class right now. And then we have and she's from our own club and a good teacher.
And what is her name again?
Joan Anderson.
Joan Anderson, okay.
And then as soon as she's finished with that, in September we have somebody from Long Beach who teaches and directs at the Long Beach Club. And he comes highly recommended. His name is John D. Jones.
Okay.
And he's going to teach a class on bidding over preempt bids. So that should be...
he was a former national champion,
yeah.
So there are people like that. So
yeah, and he'll be new teaching in our club, but people say he's a good teacher, so we're looking forward to carrying that preempt bid then into another level.
Wait, before you go on, tell me about the Joan Anderson.
Yes.
So she has a 4-part series, right?
Yes.
So tell me, just kind of give me briefly of each part. So what would be the first part that she will talk about?
Well, the first part she just talked about the week twos. I was there the other day, and should you bid week twos? Should I go into that? It's usually you need a number of points to open your hand, open the bidding.
Okay.
But a week two bid allows you to open it with fewer points, but a long suit, a 6-card suit.
Okay.
And so almost everybody plays that way now. And but there are certain hands, she showed us, that you should open week twos. Others, even though you have a 6-card suit, you don't want to open. Or if you're sitting in the first place, the initial bidder, it makes a difference.
Okay, so a little bit of strategy still involved with that. Even though it's a small thing, you still have to really think about it.
And then our next lesson, we'll talk some about the partner's bid after if I open 2 diamonds, you know, what's my partner going to do, depending on what her hand looks like.
I see. And nobody can see each other's hands, right?
No, but the bidding will hopefully give
you
each
an
other,
idea.
so that each partner knows what.
All right.
In fact, that's really the key, what you just said, is that it's almost like communication or English class, and the fact you're trying to describe your hand to somebody else, but you can't talk.
And you can't wink.
You can't wink.
You have like hand
There are all kinds of rules against that.
Oh, no.
So you got to describe by just simply putting a card down on the table, and you're saying, "This is what." But
don't
how do you
talk at all?
Right.
Really.
So how do you describe something, and you can't use your hands, you can't use body language, you can't use. So that's where the fun of the game is you do that kind of thing.
Huh. That sounds hard.
It's not as hard as
Oh
you
no!
think.
What you get to really depend. It's a box full of every bid you could possibly make.
Okay.
And so you just pull out the card and you lay it on the table. And if you are bidding, you know, if your partner changes the bid and you bid again and so forth, it's all laid out in cards on the table.
Okay.
So actually, you don't have to remember what they bid.
Oh, okay.
It's right there until the bidding is over.
Okay.
And then you put them all back in the box and play the hand.
Okay. So
In
what?
June we had a thing on the longest day, which was for Alzheimer's. And one of the things is, it's not easy. You're never going to master everything. But at the same time, it's fun because every hand is a little bit different. So the difficulty that you mentioned is part of the fun. Is the fact is it's not rote. It is you got to use judgment.
Well, and you'll learn from those things too, right? So then the next time you'll play, you'll go, oh yeah, I had that experience last time, and so you can learn from that. What was the third? What's the third meeting going to be about?
Let's see. I don't remember.
Well, you say the first.
There were 4. Yes.
Right.
And the last meeting I know is just going to be. I think the third meeting will just be going onward with the concepts.
Okay.
And then the last meeting will just be playing hands.
Okay.
She will have hands pre-dealt that will illustrate what she's been trying to teach us.
Okay,
and
perfect.
so we'll have practice playing, and that's a big part of the teaching. We always want our teachers to give a little lecture and talk about the hands, and then have a practice so that we get that part of it.
Well, that sounds like a good series.
And
I think
Steve
people
is
should do that.
actually going to be talking about what they call the new bridge, 2 over 1. You want to say a couple of sentences about 2 over 1?
In the sense that in the old days you open with 13 points, okay? What if your partner has 13 points? Well, you know that you want to play it in games. So there's a way you bid to get to so if I open a heart and Catherine bid 2 clubs, she's telling me that she's got 13 points too, and so we're going to go on.
Okay.
And so there's a whole series of bids, but part of what Catherine said is that with Joan's class, you know, if you teach somebody once and then they don't use it, you forget it. So what Joan's going to do is take a smaller topic and allow people to actually get really good at it.
Good.
Rather than, here's a new widget, let's try it, and it comes up and you try it once or twice and you haven't mastered it. So
When it actually comes up in a game, it may be very seldom. You know, you don't, it's not something you do every hand.
But at least they'll be aware of it. Okay, so do you have some other programs that are coming up?
Yes, we do. We have our local Grand Life Master, Marjorie Michelin, and she did a course called Boot Camp, and she did that in late June. And she wants to do a conventions class, just on various conventions. We also have John Mohan, who is not as nationally known here, but he plays at the national level. And he's interested in doing some lessons, some classes at our club, and we're certainly interested in having him. So we're working with him to whenever it works out with our with both. He plays in all the national tournaments and so forth, so it's hard to fit it in. And we have a list. We have quite a list of suggested topics and instructors that we've had or want to have. People like to come and teach at Laguna because it's a very large club.
Oh, absolutely.
And,
At one
well
time,
known.
it was the largest in the United States.
Wow.
Other clubs combined. So
There's some other clubs that they had multiple clubs and they combined. They're a little bit bigger, but you can play bridge Monday through Saturday at 12:30. You can play 3 nights a week. You can play on several Sundays.
Good night.
You can play several mornings for people that are just beginning. So there's an opportunity to play. And then there are other people that use Clutch House 7 for what I called rubber bridge, party bridge. They call it progressive bridge. So there's a lot of bridge being played out there, and there's lots of opportunities.
Right. Okay. So one thing that you were kind of touching on is suggestions. So if the listeners or watchers here, what kind of suggestions are you looking for?
I would like to know what the people who are playing bridge at our club all the time want to learn. Because we can tailor a class for. I've had a request especially for opening bids. And so that's something we'll be trying to get a teacher to come in and do opening bids later this year.
But it'd be nice. You mentioned that it sounds like it's really complicated. You know, it's like, what could we do to encourage people to try it, to see that they really would like it? You know, would they like a 1-day only class? Would they like a 6-week class? You know, what would they like to just get started? Because it's always important.
And John Jones was recommended by one of our directors at our club. You know, said, really, you ought to get this man in. He's a terrific teacher. So we get teachers that way too. So we get suggestions from all directions, hopefully. We need those. We want people to tell us what they want.
Well, sure. I mean, you have a big, excuse me, you have a big club, you might as well, right? I mean, you've got a lot of people who I'm sure have lots of opinions and would like to know certain things. So, so if they would like to make suggestions or just learn about when the meetings are, or what the information is, they can go to lagunabridge.com, right? Or there's a phone number.
Should I say it?
Sure.
949-268-2420. Now, this is an answering machine. So, but they can leave a message. They can say, this is for the education committee, which then it would come to me. And
we'll get back to them. Yes, we'll call them back.
Or they can they can go to lagunabridge.com and they can find that information there too.
I think there's a /edu maybe if they want education. I know I've gotten calls and emails.
Well, perfect. Well, we are out of time, so thank you so much both for being here, and great programs, and keep playing bridge and keeping those minds sharp, right?
Thanks.
It's great fun.
All right, thank you.